Then Marc Stein adjusting the camera as I introduced him. We're so back. You can find him on X at the Steinline. He is our guy, Marc Stein. Mark, what's going on?
Gents, it is great to see you. It is great to see the massive crowd watching this show. That's very heartening considering, as Kevin said, it is now Thursday. I know everybody wants to talk Mavs, but
we're good.
It is very difficult for me, having watched what I just watched, to just not want to talk about Wemby for the next 10 plus minutes.
Yeah, Mark, we saw
stuff tonight that just that I've never seen.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's year 30 for you covering the league, or thereabouts. 33. Wow, how about that?
Yeah, give him his 3 years.
Bird year. That's right. I don't know that I've ever seen anything like some of the things that Wemby did tonight. What were your impressions sitting courtside watching that display of? I don't even. It defied physics and gravity and what the human body's capable of.
I've actually lamented a lot to my son whenever we talk about Wemby, is that I have only seen him in person a few times before tonight. And of course, you remember there was the game he was supposed to play here and the tangle with the ball boy. He didn't even get to play. For whatever reason, the few times
that guy in tonight, maybe it would have helped us out.
Yeah, for sure. The few times that I've seen Wemby in person, I have never been treated until tonight to one of those jaw-dropping performances. And look, Derek Lively and Wemby shared an NBA debut, and Derek Lively won that face-off, and the Mavs won in San Antonio. And Lively has had some success against Wemby, so I don't know if that factored into it. But like the way he moved tonight, all the talk has been that he's, they're now listing him at 7'5". The rumbles are that he's 7'7". He moved so forcefully, so gracefully. He went, it wasn't just I tweeted that too. It wasn't just all the dunks. And 6, 7, 8, I lost count. But just where he takes off from, double clutch, Dominique Wilkins reverse. He's a foot taller than Dominique Wilkins. One pump fake to lose a double team, and throw down that the windmill on the baseline before that. These are dunks on the move. And then what he did at the other end, Bobby tweeted the stat at one point. What were the Mavs? 8 for 27 in the paint.
Yeah.
It's because they were thinking about him every time they got anywhere near the rim. Shot creation was an issue all night. But once they did get down there, like, you don't want to be down there because you feel, like Kev said, he only got credited with 3 blocks, where I guess they only credit him with blocks when he absolutely mutilated the ball with just an angry swipe down. We were all just turning to each other like in awe. I've never lived in San Antonio. I've never been a Spurs beat writer, but I've covered a lot of the Spurs. I covered all of their championships. I've seen a lot of Spurs basketball for someone who doesn't live in San Antonio. The first year I covered the league, I covered David Robinson's 71-point game to clinch the scoring title. I have seen a lot of highs from San Antonio, but what I saw tonight was literally stuff that I'd never seen before. And, when I threw that out to a couple Spurs, couple members of the Spurs traveling party, they're like, yeah, nobody has. This guy does stuff you have just never seen. And then, after the game, I'm just in the hallway doing my usual stalking preparations, and I look down the hallway, and he's doing push-ups in the hallway and going through this whole and like doing this whole weightlifting routine after, because like he knows, he's got to keep strengthening his body. I am awestruck and dumbstruck. It was just like I said, we've seen better lines than 40, 15, and 3, but there was just so much here tonight on display. I'm really glad I was here for it because,
Well,
like
Mark,
I said,
I don't think. I mean, I can check this, but I doubt anyone has ever done that in under 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's the scariest part. Like, he did it under 30 minutes and with relative ease. You talked about some of the, the athletic plays. I mean, some of the fade bank shots that he was hitting over defenders. I mean,
that's another thing. Now he's smooching bank shots like he's Tim Duncan. Like he did. There were so many things going on tonight. And, in the first half, bump, and just jump hook off the glass over AD. If he can move AD like that, this league is in big trouble. And then in the second half, when he went left and just punched it over him with his left hand, like, what are you supposed to do with that?
I mean, obviously the Mavs couldn't do anything with it. Like, I genuinely felt bad for Derek Lively because my man gets his stuff swatted on one end, and then Wemby comes down, does the whole Allen Iverson, crossover, and then hits the step back 3-pointer, and then he fouls him on the shot and knocks down the three. I can only imagine what your colleagues were thinking as they were watching that sequence of events. But
I do, real quick, I do stand corrected. One person has gone for 40, 15, and 3 in under 30 minutes before tonight. That person, Anthony Davis.
Oh, wow.
Actually did it back in 2017. AD is one of the very few, I think there's only 4 or 5 guys that have compiled that stat line against the Mavs.
Oh, wow.
David Robinson, obviously. 40 and 15, period. AD did not have 3 blocks tonight, but he does show up on a lot of lists tonight.
Unreal.
Look, there were no shortage of Mavs issues, and we will be talking about them. I'm sure you guys have already covered a lot of that ground, and I presume we will be talking about them tomorrow and Friday. But it's like today is a day that I really want to that was special. Among the many disheartening things for the home team tonight, I heard "Go Spurs, Go" chants in here. Like I don't remember hearing that here. Like maybe it's happened and I'm just old and don't remember.
Don't like that.
That was an audio shock.
That's the home opener. That is the home opener.
Just the loudest "Go Spurs, Go" chants that I can remember hearing. Like I said, maybe it's happened after a big playoff game and I just don't remember, but I genuinely don't remember that. And after the game, Wemby was being escorted to his interview by Tom James, who's the Spurs' long-serving PR chief. Tom's been with the Spurs for almost 40 years, and Wemby was remarking to him, "Did you hear that?" It was very audible and very shocking to me that much noise could be that there were that many Spurs fans in here creating that amount of noise.